The night was thick with fog, wrapping the town in mist. Detective Evelyn Harper pulled her coat tighter, feeling the chill creep down her spine. She knew the town's buried secrets were rising again. Footsteps echoed behind her, slow and deliberate. She turned, heart racing, but saw only shadows. Evelyn steadied her breath. Tonight felt different. Tonight, the danger felt personal. Somewhere nearby, hidden eyes watched her every move. Waiting, planning, knowing her next step. This was just the beginning. Katie stood on the wrecked theater stage, gasping for air as the final minute of the brutal survival game began. The crowd outside screamed her name, not in support, but in bloodthirsty anticipation. Lois stormed toward her with terrifying rage, desperate to win the $600 million prize. He slammed her to the ground, hands tightening around her throat. Katie scratched and kicked, her vision blurring as she fought for breath. Just when everything started fading, Noel burst in like a lifeline. He tackled Lois with full force, sending all three crashing into shattered props. The atmosphere filled with panic, falling debris, and echoing screams. Katie rolled away, clutching her bruised neck, realizing that survival wasn't just painful. It was a war for the soul. With only seconds left before sunset, every movement, every breath, and every heartbeat mattered more than ever before. Lois recovered quickly, grabbing a heavy lighting stand with murderous determination. He lunged forward, aiming to crush Katie's skull. Noel intercepted at the last second, kicking Lois so hard that the metal stand flew across the stage. The two clashed violently, punching, grappling, and slamming each other into broken scenery. Katie stumbled toward an exit, the countdown screen reflecting in her terrified eyes. 43 seconds left. Outside, drones hovered like vultures, broadcasting the live finale to millions. She could hear chants, jeers, and bets being placed on whether she would live or die. Noel shouted for her to run. Katie didn't look back. She sprinted through the backstage hallway, her heartbeat louder than the sirens blaring above. Behind her, Lois roared in fury, proving he would stop at nothing to win. The race between life and death was now a matter of seconds. Lois threw Noel aside and lunged again, but Katie reacted with raw instinct. She ripped off her game mask and hurled it at Lois, hitting him directly in the eyes. The brief blindness gave Noel a final opening. Summoning every ounce of strength left, Noel charged forward and slammed into Lois with brutal impact. Lois staggered backward, flailing helplessly before his feet slipped over the edge. Katie watched in stunned silence as he fell into the horrified crowd below. A chilling quiet spread through the mob. No cheers, no screams, just shock. Katie's hands trembled as she realized what had happened. She hadn't just outplayed her enemy, she had outlived him. Noel moved beside her, placing a steadying hand on her arm. "It's over," he whispered. But deep inside, Katie feared that the emotional scars of this deadly game would never fade. The sun vanished beyond the horizon. A siren blasted across the sky. As drones flashed bright red, the giant screen displayed the final result. Winner, Katie, $600 million. The crowd roared with shock, anger, envy, and disbelief. Security teams, medics, and producers rushed in, turning the rooftop into chaos. Katie's legs nearly collapsed, but Noelle caught her. Reporters screamed questions, cameras zoomed in, and producers celebrated their record-breaking finale. Katie ignored them all. She was numb, exhausted, and overwhelmed by the weight of what she had survived. As paramedics guided her towards safety, she glanced at the covered body of Lois being taken away. Her stomach twisted. The world saw her as a champion, but she felt like someone who had clawed her way out of darkness. She didn't win because she was lucky. She won because she refused to die. After medical checks, Katie stepped outside with Noel beside her. The night felt strangely peaceful compared to the chaos she had endured. Flashing lights, reporters, and drones still circled, but she kept walking, ignoring everything. She stopped only when she saw her reflection in a cracked window. Behind the bruises, dirt, and exhaustion was a version of herself she had never known, a true survivor. Noel asked quietly, "What now?" Katie inhaled deeply, feeling a new strength rise within her. "Now," she said calmly, "I live for real, and I make sure no one ever suffers from a game like this again." Noel nodded with a small smile. Together, they left the arena, not as contestants, not as victims, but as people who had beaten death itself. Katie didn't just